Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Rader, and in this video we'll examine the credit card and debt case study for Unit 1, Day 25 in Economics. And this resource is intended to help students consider the various factors that will allow Casey to build a solid credit history. So in our dilemma, we have Casey, who just recently spent most of their saved funds on a used car that they affectionately named Mixed Hoopy. And we noticed that after taxes, Casey is able to earn $360 a week. And without schoolwork, since they're now graduated from high school, they can babysit an additional 2 nights a week, bringing in an additional $160 a week. So the first thing that I'd like you to consider is, all right, so what will the budget actually look like for Casey? What are the new funds coming in terms of disposable income? So this is the first comment here. This gives Casey a monthly disposable income of $2,080, and you can see the math here in the comment, or $5,200 for the next 10 weeks that they have between their high school graduation and their enrollment in college in the fall. So this is the scarcity that we're seeing in terms of our resources. And in this case, we want to take the perspective of Casey and create a plan to build a positive credit history. And that's really the goal going into one's first semester in college. So the first thing that I just recommend that you look at, and I would say the same thing to my own students when I do this case study with them, is to take a look at the budget that we examined in day 11 of Unit 1 to see how Casey spends their money. And in general, and you'll see momentarily, Casey tends to spend most, if not all, of their money by the end of each month. So we have to be very, very careful with how we advise Casey with their finances. So if we look back at day 11, we can see that in the month of April of 2018, Casey starts with $182 balance in their account. And by the end of the month, they have $24 left over, right? And we also noticed that on April 11th, they actually go into the red, meaning that they overdrew the balance in their account. And unless they had overdraft protection, they would have been assessed an overdraft fee, which is something you would have learned about in the banking unit. But since you hadn't been introduced to that yet, it wasn't necessarily incorporated into this particular document. But now you should all know that if you go into the red, that you may have to be responsible for an overdraft fee. Okay, so in the task, uh, we are encouraging you to incorporate as many of the terms as you can from the unit as makes sense. And if you're unsure of any of the unit terms, just look back at each of the major case studies that we examined in recent days. And there are a number of videos on this YouTube channel that I've created that speak to these case studies. So we looked at budgeting, banking, the long-term decision making case study, wealth management, and auto insurance. And similar to the other case studies, there are sources that you can use in the annotated bibliography that will help you to think through the steps that one can employ to build a effective credit history. And I highlighted just a few. So for example, in this article here from the St. Louis Federal Reserve Bank, they provide a concise overview of both wise and unwise decisions that KC can make that will affect their credit. And in this article, you can see that the secured credit card and the joint credit card can be a person who can help a person who's under 18 really begin to build a credit history if they have no credit history, or for individuals who have made mistakes in the past to help rebuild their credit history. Likewise, the last source here identifies very specific strategies to use to build a credit history with or without a credit card. And you can see the section financial behaviors and credit mistakes to avoid as you're devising a set of steps to help Casey plan out their credit applications. So in the independent part of the lesson, you'll be working with people in your class, and your goal is to identify 3 wise and unwise steps Casey can take that will affect their credit score. And the goal really is to draft a plan for Casey to build a positive credit history. So, for example, one wise decision Casey could make is that they could open a secured credit card, which would lower the risk of making credit card purchases, right? Because there has to be a deposit that's placed down. It takes the risk away from the credit card company. And an unwise decision that Casey can do is they can make only the minimum payments on the credit card bill. And when an individual only makes the minimum payments on their credit card bill, it increases what's called the credit utilization ratio, which consequently can lower your credit score and can damage your credit history. It's not ideal. And then, really, what you ultimately want to do is identify a series of steps that Casey can take to build a positive credit history after those 3 months of time between high school graduation and college enrollment. And in terms of the wrap up, your teacher will likely ask the various groups to share out what did they notice about their financial plans in terms of helping Casey build their credit history, and then you'll identify some similarities and differences between your various credit plans. All right, that'll do it for today. I hope everybody has a great day, and if it's a Friday, I hope everybody has a great weekend. All right, take care now.